Pumpkin seeds and glass seals, and a lot of these fish are what we would call native species. They're species that have been around here for a long time. They're the kind of species that Henry Hudson and his crew might have found, and also the Native Americans would have been using as a resource. But some are newer species, and some of those newer species come with a whole new set of problems. Here's Sarah and Helen to tell us a little bit more. Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, Chris.
Good to see you. What have you got here for us?
Well, this is the Chinese mitten crab.
Oh my goodness gracious.
We have found 30 live mitten crabs in the Hudson River, which makes him our newest invasive species.
Do you mind if I reach in and grab him?
Go right ahead.
All right, if I get pinched,
I'm
I have no one to blame but myself. Oh, look at that gorgeous animal.
So he is actually native to Asia, which is over here.
Gotcha.
And we don't think that they actually migrated all the way around. They were probably brought here as food. But unfortunately, they have a nasty parasite, so we can't eat them.
Now, it's called a mitten crab, and his claws are actually they're very fuzzy. I know it's not fur in the same way that a mammal would have fur, but it feels like fur.
Yes, it's called
right. Now, so invasive, it makes it sound like this is something bad. What kind of effects might this have?
Well, in other areas where they've invaded, like Germany, their populations have exploded into huge numbers. And they burrow into banks, which could cause erosion and could compromise shoreline structures like bridges and dams and railroads.
Sure thing.
We don't know for sure that that's going to happen here in the Hudson River estuary, but we're keeping a close eye on the mitten crab population.
Now, you said this was one of the newer invasive species, so I'm guessing that we've got some more to look at too.
We do have some established invasives.
Helen, what's going on here?
Now let's look at an invasive species that definitely is impacting the estuary. These guys here are zebra mussels. They're native to Eastern Europe, and we're pretty sure they came here in ships' ballast water. Now, one of the major problems with zebra mussels is that they cause billions of dollars worth of damage to industry by, when they're tiny, they settle in things like intake pipes for power plants and clog them as they grow.
All right. Now, do they have any effect on the ecology? We were just talking with Lori about food webs. Does this affect the food web at all?
Yes, they certainly do. They can settle on things like this native mussel here, the pearly mussel. You can just see some little zebra mussels there, and they can interfere with the feeding.
Okay. Now, so we've been talking about a lot of animals today, but I know that there's also quite a few plants that are in the Hudson River as well. Do we have any kind of story there about invasive plants versus native plants?
Yes, we do. Actually, right here in Norrie Cove in the summer, we get an invasive plant called water chestnut.
Okay.
And this plant floats on the surface of the water.
Right. Now this is tied into those spiky black devil heads, some people call them, right? The shells that you see sometimes, the husks of seeds that you see sometimes.
Yeah,
oh, here's a couple right here.
This is a water chestnut seed. The current washes them around, and they root in shallow water.
Oh, okay. Now, I mean, plants are great. They make photosynthesis. Lots of things eat them. Is one plant just as good as any other?
Well, actually, both plants serve as good habitat for fish and macroinvertebrates.
Okay.
But basically what happens is the native water celery is below the surface of the water. So during photosynthesis, it releases its oxygen into the water. So there's more oxygen available for fish. The invasive water chestnut floats on the surface of the water, so it releases its oxygen up to the air, making less oxygen available for the fish, essentially.
Now, Sarah and Helen, you've been studying lots of different invasive species. For the people out there who are watching, do you have any kind of take-home message? Like, what can we as people do about invasive species? What's the one thing?
Well, taking a look at invasives and figuring out how they got here and their effects once they arrive might help us prevent future invasions. And preventing invasions is really the best way to manage invasions.